Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we have the top 4 match from Sorvin's non-meta tournament number 2. So this is actually a rematch, which is really interesting because these two players did actually play in round number 1. So this is going to be a rematch. So down at the bottom, we have Godlimation or Mr. Manthenon. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that, so sorry for butchering that. Versus Maticus, and he is on Maticus is on Zoo, and Godlimation is on Rikka. So this is a very interesting match. So he is going to be winning the die roll and choosing to go, and he's going to be going first, which is really interesting. So yeah, starting off, he's going to go ahead and use Rikka Glamour to go ahead and search for a copy of a Rikka Petal, then use Petal to search for Hellbore, and then he can go ahead and use Snowdrop to special itself and Mardell out of hand, and they get to, he gets a free search with a Mardell to search for any generator or plant card. He's going to search for a Lonefire Blossom for, I assume, the following turn. Then he can go and use Snowdrop to make them level 8 and overlay into a copy of Teardrop in defense mode to play around Lightning Storm, set 2 cards, and pass his turn. So drawing into Maticus' turn, he goes ahead and imperms the Teardrop, which makes sense. I mean, obviously, you don't want your monsters to be tributed, especially on the first turn with Zoodiac. So he's going to go for a Hammerkong and then a Trident Borbo, and then using the copy of Winder out of his hand to special summon itself, and then he's going to go ahead and search for a copy of Bezel Ship. Then he's going to be going ahead and overlaying a Chakanine, and Chakanine is going to detach to special bag, but that's going to get hit with an impermanence. Then he can go ahead and overlay into a Tiger Mortar, detach to reattach the Ram out of the grave, and then use the Whiptail to attach to it as well, and then you can go ahead and go into battle phase and attack into it, and that's going to get hit with a copy of Rikka Tranquility to special summon a copy of Mardell as well as a copy of Teardrop from the grave, and then he can go ahead and use Mardell to search for Rose Girl, and then this the Tiger Mortar is going to be attacking into Mardell, and then I believe he's going to be taking 800 points of damage, and then the Mardell is going to be banished. So he's breaking the board quite nicely, and then he's going to go ahead and use Trident, and then I believe he uses the Trident here to pop the extra copy of Teardrop that's on the field. So he did break through the entire board, and let's see what Godlimation can come up with. So he's going to go ahead and in the end phase use Rikka Petal to special summon itself back and draw for turn. Next he's going to go ahead and use the copy of Rikka Petal to search for a copy of Snowdrop, which I feel like the Trident probably would have been good there to go ahead and just pop it, but yeah, he's just going to go ahead and use Snowdrop to special summon itself as well as Lonefire Blossom, and then he's going to use Lonefire Blossom to get him into Evil Thorn. Then Rose Girl's going to trigger since a plant monster is sent to the grave to special summon itself. Evil Thorn's going to be triggered here to inflict 300 points of damage and special summon 2 more copies of Evil Thorn. Then he can use Snowdrop's effect, which is going to get hit with an impermanence, and then he's going to go ahead and link off this Rose Girl as well as an Evil Thorn. He does consider his link materials here, but he does definitely follow through with that. And he's going to go ahead and go into a copy of Jasmine, tributing the copy of Evil Thorn to special summon a plant monster in defense mode. And it looks like Trident is going to be triggered here to go ahead and clear over the Jasmine. But he's going to be chaining a Hellbore to negate the effect of Trident. It negates, and it does not destroy, it just negates the effect, but that's still pretty good. Then he's going to get the Mudon, and Mudon's going to go ahead and search for a copy of Rikka Tranquility. Then he's going to be going ahead and using Hellbore to tribute a plant monster in the grave and special summon it in defense mode. And then he's going to be overlaying those two into a copy of Teardrop. So he played around that impermanence quite nicely since Hellbore is a level 8 monster. He can just, make the Teardrop normally. And then he can go ahead and use this Teardrop to tribute over the Trident and go into battle phase and attack 2800 into the Winder, as well as looks like he's opting not. Oh, the Jasmine's attack was actually calculated in that 3,000 points of damage. Setting Rikka Tranquility, he passes his turn. So he broke through the entire zoo board, and it's back to Maticus for his turn. He draws into a Cosmic Cyclone. He's going to go ahead and activate Pot of Avarice to go ahead and send back, I believe, everything except for the Winder and the Ram, which makes sense. And then he's going to go ahead and draw 2, drawing into Pinkertops as well as Moonlit Chill. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough, but we're going to see. So Pinkertops is going to be special summoned to the field. And this is going to be quite nice, playing around pretty much his entire board right here. He can go ahead and use Rikka Tranquility to just special summon a copy of Hellbore, which is really smart here. So Hellbore is really good here because it's going to be used as a protection. So if he uses the Pinkertops to try and kill the Teardrop, he can just tribute the Hellbore from the field and negate the effect. So that is quite nice, especially because it's 2600, so he'd have to crash the Pinkertops into it to clear it anyways. So very, very nice stuff here. But I believe that this Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill is going to be chained onto the Hellbore to negate the effects. And Teardrop's going to be activated here to go ahead and tribute the Pinkertops, and Pinkertops is going to be chained to go ahead and get rid of the Teardrop. And then the Hellbore is going to be chained, since it's still in the same chain as Ghost Mourner, to go ahead and negate that effect as well. So quite an interesting chain there. Very, very fantastically played on both of their parts. I thought that was very cool. Going ahead and chain link 1, you know, like Mourner, then like chain link 2, Teardrop, chain link 3, Pinkertops, chain link 4, Hellbore. That was crazy. Very, very good technical play on both of their parts. Fantastic so far. So he passes his turn with just a set copy of Bezel Ship as well as a Cyclone, hopefully just protecting his life points a little bit so he can survive another turn. Petal is going to be activated here in the end phase, and then he's going to get a go into the main phase and use Rose Girl to add a plant monster back to the hand, and Maticus just goes ahead and scoops it up there. So going into game number 2, it looks like he is going to be opting to go first this time. And yeah, so we're going to see what happens here. So it looks like our Ram is going to be normal summoned here. Hammer Kong, then a Borbo, and then a Dryden on top of that. 4 summons, not playing into Nibiru, obviously. Makes sense. Impermanence is going to be set into the farmost column, and then he's going to be passing his turn. So Godlimation draws for turn, and he draws into a Primula. And then he's going to be going ahead and using Lightning Storm to clear the back row. Doesn't really matter realistically. Then Glamour is going to be activated here to go ahead and search for a copy of Rikka Petal. And then Rikka Petal is going to be normal summoned here. And on the normal summon, Dryden's going to be activated to pop it. Hellbore is going to be chained here to go ahead and negate the effect. And then he can go ahead and use Petal to search for Erica. And then use the Snowdrop effect to tribute the Petal and special summon the Mudan. And Mudan's going to go ahead and search for Tranquility. Then he can use the Snowdrop effect. Or actually on the summon, the Mourner is actually going to be activated on the Snowdrop to negate the effects. And then Hellbore is going to be activated in the graveyard to go ahead and tribute the Mudan to special summon itself in defense mode. And then he's going to overlay it. It doesn't matter if it was in defense mode, since he's just going to use it as overlay material anyways. Going into Teardrop. Then Teardrop's going to be tributing over the Dryden, and a Nibiru is going to be chained here. So crazy stuff. This token's going to be sitting at 2800, and he opts to put it in defense mode. Next, I believe the normal summon was actually already used, unless if there was... Oh, if a monster you control is tributed, you can special summon from this hand to defense. So that's actually very funny that he actually used this effect of Primula to go ahead and special summon itself. And then Tranquility is going to be set to the field as well and passing his turn. So really crazy back and forth stuff here. Maticus draws for turn, drawing into Rat Pier, which is fantastic since you can actually just use this Pot of Avarice to shuffle everything back and then follow up with that Rat Pier. So this is really cool. So that's exactly what I assume he's going to do. But he's going to use the Rat Pier to send the Ram. And then he's going to be overlaying, he's going to be using the Pot of Avarice to send everything back except for the Ram. And then he's going to go ahead and shuffle draw 2. So he draws into a Judgment as well as a Thoroughblade, which is pretty good. Hammer Kong's going to be over the Rat Pier, and then a Chakanine over that, and then Chakanine's going to detach the Hammer Kong to special summon the Ram from the graveyard. Then a Dryden's going to be overlaid on top of the Chakanine, and it's going to be detached the Chakanine to pop the Ram. Then the Ram's going to go ahead and use the effect to target the Chakanine and special summon it back from the graveyard. Next, a Tiger Mortar is going to be going ahead and overlaying on top of the Dryden, and he's going to use the effect of Tiger Mortar to attach the Ram back to the Chakanine, and he's going to just detach the detach the Ram from the Chakanine to special summon Trident. Then he's going to link all of those off into a Mega Clops. So I felt like he could have done that with one less material, keeping the Hammerkong in the extra deck, but that's okay. It's still pretty much all the same thing anyways. So Mega Clops is here, and he's just going to go ahead in the battle phase and go ahead and swing over the token as well as swing over the Primula, and he's going to go into main phase 2, and he's going to use Mega Clops to target the back row, and it's going to be chained with Tranquility. And I'm going to admit something here that I shouldn't have done because I was judging this event, specifically this match. The thing that actually happens here is that the monster gets summoned and the Tranquility will be attached to whatever Xyz monster he does summon. But I assumed that it worked identically to if you were to summon Nightmare Unicorn and target a back row of your opponent and they chain the back row, such as like a Mystical Space Typhoon. The Mystical Space Typhoon would normally be sent to the graveyard. So I assumed that this situation was identical to that. I figured that the Tranquility would go to the graveyard. So I will 100% admit that I gave an incorrect ruling as a judge, and I really shouldn't have been as cocky as I was, and I should have just looked up this ruling at the moment. Unfortunately, I didn't do that, and they both didn't take the time to go ahead and do that, to check that as well. But it was 100% my fault. I will admit that. And unfortunately, it is going to play a little bit into this game. But this game is still fantastic. Like it's a really fun match to watch either way. But I do want to admit that 100% it was my fault. Anyways, so the Trident is going to be summoned to the field, and due to the incorrect ruling, it will not have any material under it. So a judgment is set as well, and he's going to be passing his turn. So a really, really interesting interesting turn there. So Petal's going to be activated in the end phase to go ahead and special summon itself, and he's going to draw for turn, drawing into a copy of Lonefire Blossom, and then he's going to go ahead and use Snowdrop to go ahead and search off of Petal. And then he's going to be going ahead and tributing Petal to special summon the Snowdrop from the hand, as well as the Lonefire Blossom as well. And then he's going to be overlaying both copies of Snowdrop into a Teardrop, and that's going to be hit with a Judgment. So really crazy stuff here. Now he just has a single Lonefire Blossom to go through, so he's going to be going ahead and he has to think about his plays a little bit, which I completely understand. Lonefire is going to be activated here to tribute itself and a second copy as well, grabbing Mardell, and Mardell's going to search for Rose Girl, or actually he opts to search for Lonefire Blossom instead, actually. I'm not sure how this Rose Girl got to grave. I'm trying to think here. Oh, he's just revealing that he didn't mean to search for Rose Girl, that's right. So he was just showing that he added it back. Okay. Lonefire Blossom is normal summoned here, since he did not use his normal summon. He only used the special summon from Petal and Snowdrop, special summon the Lonefire, and then normal the Lonefire. So Lonefire is going to get him into a copy of Snowdrop as well from the deck, and then he's going to be using Snowdrop's effect to go ahead and overlay into another copy of Teardrop. Teardrop's going to tribute over the Mega Clops, and he's going to go into battle phase and attack over this Trident. So that's crazy. Now going into the next turn, looks like he's just going to go straight into battle phase, and this Nibiru is going to be attacking into the Teardrop for 200 points of damage, although Erica is going to be activated here, giving it 1,000 attack and defense, so he's going to be taking 800 points of damage. And next in main phase 2, Pinkertops is going to be special summoned to the field, and he's just going to immediately tribute it to get rid of Teardrop. Next, Zoodiac Thoroughblade is going to be normal summoned to the field, and then he's going to be overlaying a copy of Borbo, and then a Chakanine. Chakanine is going to be used to special summon Trident back, and then a Tiger Mortar is going to be summoned over the Chakanine, detaching the Chakanine to reattach the Ram to the Trident. Wow, what a fantastic turn back and forth between these two duelists, and we're going to be heading back into Godlamation's turn for his turn. So, no cards in hand, let's see what he can top deck. He top decks into a copy of Evil Thorn, and he has not used the Evil Thorn this duel. So, Rikka Petal is going to be activated in the end phase. He just pressed the button before he used the effect. So, yeah. In the standby phase, Trident is going to be activated here on the Petal, and it's going to get destroyed. So now, Evil Thorn is going to be normal summoned, and he is going to be tributing it off into 2 more copies of Evil Thorn, dealing 300 points of damage to the opponent. And since a monster was attributed while it was in the graveyard, Rikka is going to be summoned from the graveyard into defense mode. Then, I'm not sure how this teardrop actually got to the field. Let me see here. I'm not sure how that teardrop actually got to the field, but it got sent to the grave somehow. Anyways, he's going to go into battle phase here. Or, sorry. No, he's still in main phase. Okay, so... Oh, I think he just pressed the wrong monster. So Hellbore is going to be tributing a plant monster to summon itself in defense mode, and it's going to be banished when it leaves the field. Next, he can go ahead and link off the Hellbore and the Rikka into Jasmine. Next, Jasmine is going to be going ahead and using the effect tributing the Evil Thorn and special summoning Mudan, and Mudan was summoned by a plant monster, so he's going to go ahead and get a search for Rikka Glamour. Glamour is going to go ahead and search for another copy of Mudan. And he can go into battle phase and attack over this tiger for 200 points of damage, and attack over the Trident as well. So, back to his turn. Crazy. He draws Nibiru for turn. Unfortunately, it's 1,800 and 1,000 points of damage on the following turn, so he is going to scoop it up. This is one of the most intense matches ever. Zoodiac versus Rikka. Whoever thought that Rikka and Zoodiac would have insane grind potential against each other? I certainly didn't. But this was a fantastic game. Both duelists have very, very good technical play, and this is a must-watch match, honestly, out of this tournament. So really big props to both of you guys because you played fantastically, and this match is very, very entertaining and intense throughout the entirety of it. So yeah, with all of that said, Godlimation, Mr. Manthanon, or however you pronounce his name, is going to be advancing to the finals. And if you want to see who he is going against, check out the previous video. If not, I won't spoil it in this one. But yeah, you will see that video tomorrow of the finals. With all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.